नमस्कार, सत श्री अकाल, आदाब, खम्मा गणी और राम राम सा। स्वागत है आप सभी का कहानियों के इस खास कार्यक्रम में, जहां आप सुनते हैं हर दिन नई नई प्रेरणादायक कहानियां। तो आइए कहानियों के इसी सिलसिले को आगे बढ़ाते हुए बढ़ते हैं आज की अगली कहानी की ओर। दोस्तों, आज के हमारे मेहमान हैं मुदित पाठक। जी हाँ, आज हम मुलाकात करेंगे इनसे और जानेंगे इनकी सफलता की कहानी के बारे में। आपको बता दें, इतनी कम उम्र में सफलता का एक बेहतरीन मुकाम हासिल करने वाले मुदित पाठक की जीवन यात्रा कई युवाओं को प्रेरित एवं प्रोत्साहित कर रही है। जी हाँ दोस्तों, मुदित पाठक आर्टिस्टिक योगी के नाम से मशहूर हो चुके हैं। ये एक सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योर, मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर एंड ऑथर है। वर्तमान में दोस्तों ये पिरामल फाउंडेशन नामक एक एनजीओ के तहत बिहार के मधुबनी के स्वास्थ्य विभाग में गांधी फेलो के रूप में काम कर रहे हैं। आपको बता दें, ये मूल रूप से उत्तर प्रदेश के पीलीभीत के रहने वाले हैं। इन्होंने अपना बचपन यहीं बिताया और फिर ग्रेजुएशन इन्होंने दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी से की। जी हाँ, अपनी ग्रेजुएशन करने के दौरान ही इन्होंने कुछ इंटर्नशिप्स की और इसी अनुभव ने इन्हें कुछ अनोखा और बेहतर काम करने के लिए प्रेरित किया और तभी इनकी सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप जर्नी की शुरुआत हुई। दोस्तों, अगर इनकी सक्सेस ग्रोथ की बात करें तो आपको बता दें, उसका ग्राफ हर वर्ष बढ़ता ही चला गया। जी हाँ, ग्रेजुएशन के सेकेंड ईयर में इन्होंने एक इवेंट मैनेजमेंट कंपनी खोली और इसी तरह अपने इस सफर में आगे बढ़ते हुए इन्होंने कलाकारों को वित्तीय स्थिरता प्रदान करके उनकी मदद करने और उन्हें प्रेरित करने के लिए आर्टिस्टिक बाय नेचर नामक इंडिया की सबसे बड़ी आर्टिस्टिक कम्युनिटी की शुरुआत की और इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को सफल बनाने के लिए हर संभव प्रयास भी किए। ये आज भी अपनी इस जर्नी को इसी तरह आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं और देश के लाखों युवाओं को प्रेरित कर रहे हैं। दोस्तों, आपको बता दें, इनके द्वारा किए गए बेहतरीन कार्यों के लिए इन्हें कई बार सम्मानित भी किया गया। वैसे ये सब सुनकर आप भी हैरान हो रहे होंगे कि आखिर इतनी कम उम्र में इतनी बड़ी सफलता हासिल करने के पीछे क्या है राज। तो दोस्तों, सफलता के उस मंत्र के बारे में जानने के लिए अब आइए सीधा मुलाकात करते हैं इनसे और इनके जीवन के ऐसे ही कई और दिलचस्प किस्सों एवं अनुभवों के बारे में जानने के लिए सुनते हैं पूरी कहानी सिर्फ और सिर्फ इनकी अपनी जुबानी।
My name is Mudit Pathak, also known as Artistic Yogi. I am currently placed in Bihar, originally from Pilibhit, Uttar Pradesh, and I have four members in my family: my mother, my father, and my younger brother. My mother is a teacher, and my father is a businessman. And my younger brother is in class 9th, and he is a budding singer. I am working in Madhubani. It's a district in Bihar famous for Madhubani paintings. So I am working in the health sector with the government, with the health department of Bihar. And the NGO which I am associated with is Piramal Foundation, and we are known as Gandhi Fellows. We work towards the implementation of the policies in the very grassroots level, taking into consideration the empowerment of all the possible stakeholders, plus empowering the lowest but the most important sector of the health system, which is known as Asha Didis, Anganwadi workers, Sevika Didis, and ANM Didis. So when I was in class 5th, and obviously all of the youths out there, or all the people, those who went to school, they must have heard this line or read this line in their NCRT books, which I read in my class 5th NCRT book, which says India is a developing country. So that line was very much hurting for me, because when I introspected and realized that my father read the same line, my father is double my age is 21. My grandfather read the same line, and he was 95 years old. He expired the previous year. So when I see the long term developing thing, so I just introspected and analyzed that how can I contribute to convert this word from developing to developed. So from there, my journey started. Till my class 9th, I was just an average student. sorry. So from 9 to class 12, there was a slight revolution in me. So I started learning and I started exploring things. I stopped working for marks, but eventually turned myself into working for something which is known as knowledge, practical knowledge. So after my class 12th, I stepped into Delhi University, right, one of the top 10 colleges of Delhi University, Bhagat Singh Evening College. So there, in the initial 10 days, I bagged two internships under Government of India. One was under UIDA Aadhaar card, and the second one was under GAIL, Gas Authority of India Limited. So while doing those two internships, I realized, I introspected myself, and the feedback which I received from the people. So it was that, okay, you are not born to be an ordinary person, or no one is born to be an ordinary person. It's just that everyone has some unique selling points, USP. So if you work on your USP, so you can definitely be a trendsetter, be a monopolar, and be a what we say, the inspiration for millions of people, right? So I worked on that different career. I didn't work on being just a career mule, but I tried to shift myself from career mule to entrepreneurial mindset. So explored various things, did multiple amounts of researches, did multiple amount of internships under different organizations from small to NGOs, working with them. So eventually my internships turned into assisting the startups and assisting the NGOs, assisting the youths, guiding the youths, counseling the youths towards nation building or towards starting their own initiative, own organization, own startups. And in the first year, second half of the first year, I started my event management firm by the name of Planet For You. It is India's first purely youth-based event management firm, which is also recognized by World Record and India Book of Records. And like I was working toward the startup thing. I am very fascinated about the social entrepreneurial stuff, right? So the bigger bracket is social entrepreneurship, and I am known as social entrepreneur. So with my startup, I was doing stuff. I was helping the youth to get part-time jobs and internship and help them become financially stable and connect with them through the corporate world, right? Not just the bookish part, but connecting them with the corporate world. So when I was doing this, I introspected and analyzed and saw three problems which I personally faced, right, and through the personal experiences. The first one was artists, the second one was women, and the third one was youth. Why artist? Because I am an artist. So in my journey so far, I saw different mindsets, and the very common mindset is that if the parents didn't encourage and never they don't appreciate their child going to the artistic field. Obviously, there are the very big reason being that artistic field is not promising in terms of financial stability. So that was a very big issue which I saw and felt personally as well. So to curb this issue, I started my organization, which is known as Artistic by Nature. More than organization, it's a community of artists where we try to focus on providing financial stability to artists. Now, how we do so? So we do it by organizing events, collaborating with events, organizing workshops, and giving the platform to artists for exploring, for learning, and for earning as well. And many of the artists who were part of our community, they have reached various heights. Right, we are connected with almost 1,000 plus artists across the country. And when I say artists, so there are 2-3 segments of majority of the field of artists where we are in the top. So one is the underground dancers community and the underground rapping community. So there our main focus is right now over there, but eventually in the later stage we'll be obviously catering every art form at large. So while going through this artistic initiative of Artistic by Nature, I also analyzed that because we go to schools and colleges to collaborate. So there I analyzed that the practicality in education system which I faced in my from 9 to 12, that is missing, right? So to provide those practical knowledge. So when I say practicality, so that practicality means something which is known as sex education, menstrual hygiene, period education, and startup, social entrepreneurship, climate education. So these are some of the topics which schools and college didn't talk upon, or if they talk, so just a workshop or so in a whole one curriculum year. that is not sufficient. So what we try to do is we started an initiative by the name of the Yogi Gang. So Yogi doesn't mean any sannyasi, or it has no relation with BJP or Adityanath Yogi sir. So Yogi stands for Youth of Global India, which is YOGI, Youth of Global India, right? And gang, because gang signifies a community, a togetherness, and a sort of, like, it's a bro code which is used, right? So Yogi Gang. So what we do, we organize workshops and seminars in collaboration with different schools and colleges. We organize talk shows, different events by which we spread awareness regarding those practical topics. And our long-term vision is to introduce something which is known as a curriculum. A curriculum, more than a curriculum, a topic as a subject, practical subject, by the name of art of volunteering, initiating youths and letting the youths know, and letting the youths feel the importance of volunteering. Because we compare our country from foreign countries, from different foreign nations, but we forget that in all the foreign nations, including USA, UK, America, youths contribute some hours each day, at least 1 hour each day, towards volunteering, right? So building not that same culture, because obviously India has different diversities and other things, but building something like that to encourage youth towards volunteering is what we are, our vision and mission is, right? So it is in the process. Obviously there are lots and lots of things to be done, lots and lots of stakeholders are to be approached for this approval and all, but it's in the pipeline, and sooner or lesser the time it will be implemented. I am very sure about that thing. So obviously when the lockdown came in, right, so we are doing all of these things from 2019. So when this lockdown hit us in 2020, so in the April, like it was Holi. So in that 1 week or 2 week around Holi, when the lockdown was there, so we were hearing various cases of sexual harassment, right? Virtual, like online platforms, because everyone was at home, and we all know empty mind is a devil's mind. Sexual harassment at home, right? Violence at home which females were facing, and then the cyber bullying which the females were facing. And at that particular time we also heard two major cases of, one was of boys locker room, and the second one was suicide case of Manav, who was a youngster who committed suicide because of all those cyber stuff going on, right? So these things triggered us, and what we did was we started an initiative by the name of Bharat Girl Up. It's a community, and it's a club which is under United Nations Foundation. What we do, we try to empower youths, and more than youths, we focus on empowering the women, right? The tagline of Bharat Girl Up is "Janmi se hi pehchan." So it signifies that a girl child who is born with an identity. She is not weak. She is not to be taken as a burden. So we organize different campaigns on different topics, different sensitive topics. We even organized debate competition when it was first virtual. It was first COVID wave. So we organized a virtual debate competition which were having 200 plus participants, paid participants actually. It was a paid debate competition. So we organized plenty of workshops, virtual workshops. We organized plenty of campaigns virtually, collaborated with various initiatives, various events. Like we were record attempt of 500 initiatives and events to collaborate with them. So meantime, all of these things were on the line. We have a team of 50 people almost in all of these initiatives, working individually towards nation building, because all of us are nation builder. Like so I was selected in 2 3 fellowships. So the first one was Ashoka Young Change Makers 2021. I was selected in that particular young change makers cohort of 19 to 21 change makers all across the nation. And it is founded by Bill Drayton. Bill Drayton sir is the same person who has coined the word and founded the word social entrepreneur, and he speaks a very beautiful line. Everyone is a change maker. Like everyone is a change maker. You, me, every youth is a change maker. It's just that we need to realize our change making abilities. So it's been 2 years I am associated with the Ashoka Young Change Makers, and currently, as I mentioned, I am a Gandhi Fellow as well, placed in Bihar, Madhubani, and I am also a CDF, a Global Youth Fellow. CDF stands for Connecting Dream Foundation. It's a national foundation which works internationally. So I am in the cohort of that Global Youth Change Makers, which is an international cohort with something around 15 to 21 international fellows working towards nation building and learning stuff. So basically what I believe in is exploring. If you explore things out, so you will be getting something or the other which you are definitely interested in, and you can even enhance your USP and your skills. Because see, experience and skills are two different things. Experience is not obviously earned from the passage of time. You get experience, but skills can be learned. So rather than focusing on getting experience, if we focus on getting skills, then I guess that experience will be eventually very beautiful. And what I learned from my journey so far is that failures are the key to success. If you are not attempting to fail, if you are not ready to fail, if you are not ready to step out of your comfort zone, step out of your career mule path, so you will definitely not gonna be succeeded in the long run, because sustainability is something which needs to be maintained, right? And yeah, so I guess the journey is being continued till yet, and obviously abhi to it's starting. I am a 21-year old right now, so there is lots and lots of things to be learned, lots and lots of things to be explored, and obviously learning is the key to success. So talking about my role model or inspiration, it will be very much weird to tell you or to say, but I am my own role model. Like, I learn from my mistakes, my failures. So if I will be telling you in very short, so my failures are my role model, because I learn from my failures. Each day I wake up, and each day when I go to bed, I fail 100 times and I learn 100 times. In that journey of 6 a.m. waking up to 10 p.m. Going to sleep, in that journey, there is a whole bunch of things to be learned, whole bunch of things to be inspired by individual. Because what I believe in is the real me, to find out the real me. If a youth is able to find out the real me, the real him, right? The real side of him. So I guess that day he will be in the right track and the right path. And obviously I am inspired by a beautiful quote which Mr. Mahatma Gandhi, so who was the father of the nation, who is father of the nation, quoted: bring the change in yourself first, so that you can bring the change in this world. And this quote, I live by this quote. I try to bring my change in myself each day, so that I can bring the change in this world. And obviously, being a social entrepreneur, it's our responsibility to bring the change in this world. But before changing the world, obviously we could never change someone if we are not doing that thing from ourselves, right? ये कहते हैं ना, there's a very good saying in हिंदी, अगर एक उंगली दूसरे पे दिखाते हो तो चार उंगलियां आपके तरफ आती हैं. So if you are not truthful by yourself, how can you ask some other person to be truthful to himself or to others? So that is what I believe in, right? And the quote is very, very pure and it's very close to my heart, and I preach this quote. If I am going to compare, or if I am going to see if education is important or experience, so obviously education. Because if you are educated, and by education I mean that practical knowledge, not that theoretical bookish warm knowledge, no. By education I mean something which is known as practicality, something which is known as learning for the sake of learning, not for the sake of earning a degree, earning a job, earning a certificate, diploma, or earning marks. No, because learning in the purest form is something which is obviously going to enhance your skills, which is going to enhance your personality, which is going to enhance an individual at large, right? Will make you a human being. Because in this time of globalized world, and in this era where we are seeing the cases of murders, rapes, etc., I feel that if you are learned, if you are a human being, right? So humanity is needed at large in this current time. Humanity is something which is needed, and humanity can only come if you are aware, if you know the real you, the real me, right? Because experience will not give you humanity. Your your individuality, who you are. How do you see an individual? Do you see an individual, or do you respect an individual because he is your relative, your cousin or something, or do you respect an individual because he is an individual? एक इंसान को आप इंसान की तरह रिस्पेक्ट कर रहे हो, कि एक इंसान को आप रिस्पेक्ट कर रहे हो क्योंकि वो आपका भाई है, आपके फादर हैं, आपके मदर है, या आपके ताऊ के बेटे हैं? So that is most important, to be introspected in yourself. And I guess these things come with the passage of when you are in the journey of learning about yourself, learning about life, learning about things which need to be taken care of, not just studying and looking for opportunities and looking for other stuff. This is what I believe. So leadership obviously enhanced since the very first day, because I tried to take initiatives, right? I know I never waited for anyone to come and tell me, or never waited for anyone to push me, right? Obviously everyone needs support, everyone needs guidance, everyone needs mentorship, everyone needs that back, but I never waited for that. What I did was I just trialed everything, because I don't know anything about social entrepreneurship. I am right now learning about those things. I am not of that background as well, because in my 12th I left commerce, and in the graduation I was having arts, so I was having no prior knowledge of commerce or maybe business segment, entrepreneurship segment. But yes, what I was having was an eagerness to do something, willpower to do something. And I guess these are the qualities of a leader. A leader is someone who takes initiative. A leader is someone who tries to build his character, he tries to build his confidence, who tries to build himself into an individual, into a good human being. A leader is someone who never waits for anyone to follow him. A leader walks by himself. Eventually people follow them. Why? Because people see his individuality, people see the vibe, see the aura of that person. So if I tell you with an example, so recently I on 2nd of November the previous year, I visited my school. So it was my birthday. So I visited my school, and I was amazed to see that the same school where I was an average performer, like I was not a topper, or I was not that high scorer. I was an average scorer, right? So that same school invited me in one of the TED event of that college. That same school gave me lots of respect. That same school I signed my life's first 500 plus signature, like you quoted very very previously, that converting your signature into an autograph. So I signed 500 plus autographs of my juniors on that date of my birthday. So that was a very memorable birthday of mine, right? A young person of 21-year age who is signing autograph of 500 plus people, right? So that was a huge, I will say, a huge achievement which I feel at that particular point of time. That trophies, those clingy trophies, those are very good. But apart from those trophies, what matter most is respect which you get from people, goodwill which you make, network which you make. And leader is someone who believes not in the award or in the glory, but leader is someone who believes in building network, because in this time of globalized world, your network is your net worth. And if you are a true leader, so definitely more than yourself, you will be thinking of people at large, because in our constitution, in the first page, which is known as preamble, which is created by very beautiful and very powerful leaders, what they wrote, we the people of India. They haven't wrote I, me, myself. They wrote we, right? And I am currently based in Bihar, Madhubani, and Bihar में लोग मैं नहीं कहते हैं, people say हम. So that feeling of togetherness, that feeling of being a part of community, that is important. And I guess a leader is someone who maintains these things very minutely. Currently, what I am doing and what I love eventually in this fellowship, obviously, is that I am searching for the real me, right? Obviously, adding the experience and learning skills, and then the very important thing is that more than giving to society, I am learning like how to be the righteous person. Because जब हम लोग सेवा करते हैं ना, देखिए कभी भी हम किसी भी इंसान को तब दे सकते हैं जब हमारे पास खुद वो चीज होगी, चाहे वो पैसे हो, चाहे वो नॉलेज हो, चाहे कुछ भी हो। अगर हमारे पास ही वो चीज नहीं है तो हाउ कैन यू गिव टू सोसाइटी? सो दैट इज द मोर आइडिया। इफ यू वांट टू empower society, first empower you. So I am empowering myself, at the same point of time trying to empower society, because trying to teach someone is a very different thing. Try to empower someone is a very different thing, because you don't know the mindset of an individual who is standing next to you. You don't know the mind of a community who's standing next to you. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes lots and lots of courage. It takes various things to come from Uttar Pradesh, Bareilly, to a place which is known as Madhubani, Bihar, which you haven't heard in your lifetime, in your 20 years of life. And then you try to change those people, those who are already holding a post. So that becomes something which is problematic, or maybe something which is very difficult. But then yes, a leader is someone who takes difficult things, who take challenge. A social entrepreneur, an entrepreneur is a person who takes challenge and convert it into a solution, who takes problem and convert it into a solution. But that is what I love the most, challenges. If I have a challenge, I'll pick up the challenge, I'll live with that challenge, and I'll definitely try to find a solution to that challenge. That is what I do and love to do. Obviously, I am 21 years of age and I am no one to give an advice, but a suggestion or maybe something which is known as guidance. So that obviously I'll be telling. So if anyone wanted to be an entrepreneur, so the very first thing is problem. Very first thing is problem. Are you able to see the problem around you? Are you able to be a person who is empathetic enough? So there's a difference between empathy and sympathy. Sympathy is someone which you show mercy on someone, which you show pity on someone, right? And empathy is something which empowers an individual. You step into the shoes of an individual to analyze their problem and work on their problem to give a solution. That is known as empathy. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to definitely come out of the box. You have to definitely be empathetic in nature, and you have to analyze, realize what you are seeing and see behind the lines, which we say between the lines, and find the solution, right? Take the problem, take it as a challenge, live with that problem, work on that problem, and find a solution in sort of product, in a sort of service. It could be anything, but that is most important. And if anyone of you who want to join fellowships, so there are plenty of fellowships in the country, right? For freshers, for experienced, there are different amount of fellowships for different age brackets, for different experience brackets, for different skill set brackets. You just need to find out the real you. See, the very first root cause of any fellowship, joining any fellowship, is that you first know the real side of you. Because in the fellowship is something which is very pure, right? Which is not initiated by the mindset of earning gains. Fellowships are obviously designed in order to give back to society with the help of young professionals, with the help of beautiful minds. So if you are planning to join a fellowship, then first thing you need to realize that am I being pure to myself? Am I being truthful to myself? Because this is what is needed in fellowship. And second thing, that fellowship is all about learning experience. Earning, you will be earning something, but more than earning, your individual growth, your individual learning, your individual exploration, but with the community, with your peers, with your fellows, with your group of people, right? So you are learning individually, but you have to be with some group of people, so that जो एक मैं से हम का सफर होता है वो आप तय कर पाओ, right? Because fellowship, like my particular fellowship, Gandhi Fellowship, it is based on seva bhav, it is based on impact, creation, empowering, empathy, all of those things. So it is us who will be changing the world. By us, I mean youth. It is the youth who are going to change the world. But you are definitely going to change the world if you change yourself today. If you are not changing yourself today, if you are the same from what you were yesterday, So I am betting on you, it will be harming you in the long run. So just try to be the best version of yourself from the person you were yesterday, right? And keep that small thing in mind, that you are working not for yourself but for your community and your country at large. Take that responsibility, a small responsibility of empowering at least one individual in your lifetime, right? That will be enough. So there are plenty of child memories actually, because 21 years of age. So I was very close to my grandparents. So my grandparents expired recently in November and December 2021. So I was very close to them from very starting. And my grandfather, he is obviously the main reason what I am today. Whatsoever I am doing today is because of him, because he quoted one sentence. I don't know, way back when I was in class fifth, maybe, or previous to that when I was in KG. My nickname is Money. So what he quoted कि मनी कुछ अलग करेगा, ये साधारण बच्चों की तरह नहीं है, ये कुछ अलग करेगा. And from that time, I don't know how I remember that thing, but I guess it was a time of KG or first, something around that phase. And that line stuck in my mind. And today also I am 21 years of age. And वो लाइन अभी तक मेरे दिमाग में है कि मेरे ग्रैंडफादर ने मुझे ये बोला था कि मनी कुछ अलग करेगा तो कुछ अलग करना है. So like my parents know this thing. Everyone who is close to me, they know that he is doing something different because he was once told by his grandfather, right? And that line stuck in my mind. I don't know the aura of that line or the aura of my grandfather. So he was very much righteous to himself, right? I'm telling about individuality from quite long time. So he was an individual who was an individual, right? He was never acting to pretend like anyone, right? So that thing, like in my childhood memories also, he fulfilled every wish of mine. Like if I want a fruit in the time of 9 p.m, he will be giving me that fruit. He never asked me to compromise. उन्होंने कभी मुझे कॉम्प्रोमाइज करना सिखाया नहीं. उन्होंने ये बस सिखाया मुझे कि तुम्हें जो चाहिए उसके लिए मेहनत करो और वो चीज हासिल करो. इफ यू कॉम्प्रोमाइज, सो वहां पे आप बैठ जाओगे, वहां पे आप रिलैक्स कर लोगे कि नहीं मिला कोई बात नहीं. वो तुम सेटिस्फाई मत हो छोटी छोटी चीजों से. यू फेच फॉर मोर. इफ यू गेट 10 marks, fetch for 20. If you get a job of 10,000, fetch for 50,000 job. So if you do this thing, so satisfaction आपको लाइक होता है ना कि हम तसल्ली मिल जाती है हम लोगों को. तो वो तसल्ली मिल जाती है, हम लोग रेस्ट मोड में आ जाते हैं, हम वो कंफर्ट जोन बना लेते हैं. तो he was the one who told me never build your comfort zone. If you are seeing your comfort zone बन रही है, break it that particular moment. And I was a single child till 8 years. So I have a younger brother who is 8 years. We have a time frame of 8 साल का difference है हम लोग के बीच में. So till the 8 years, I was single child. So obviously we know that single child gets lots of priorities, right? वो एक solo child का उसको सारा वो मिलता है, luxuries, all of those things. But my parents, they taught me just one thing, that we are from I belong to a middle class family. We are from a middle class family. So थोड़ी सी अपनी limits आपको पता होनी चाहिए. Because whatever surrounding I was surrounded by in my school or maybe in the city Pilibhit, from where I have done my schooling. So my friend circle was someone those who were from different good backgrounds, healthy backgrounds. So my parents told me very initial thing, that whatever we can afford, we will be giving it to you, but never compare yourself with those people, because if you want to compare, you will become sad. Because there will be various things which they will be having and you not. Work on yourself so that in the future you can earn those things, you can get those things, and your children don't face the same thing, right? But never compare. And that is the moment. I hate comparison. I hate when someone compares me from the other individual. So what I do, if X person is comparing me from another individual or from himself, I won't say to him anything, or I won't argue with him, but I will prove myself to myself, not to that person. I'll prove myself to myself that okay, that person was comparing me. Let's be the one plus. So that is what I get the mindset from that particular scenario of my childhood memories. One more memory, it is very much encouraging and at the same point of time contradictory as well. When I started my first startup, right, Planet for You, an event management company, एक साल तक मैंने अपने पेरेंट्स को बताया नहीं था कि मैं कुछ ऐसा कर रहा हूँ, बिकॉज मैं दिल्ली में था, वो लोग पीलीभीत में थे. They were just knowing कि our child is in Delhi and he is studying and studying. But I was not just studying. I was focusing on different aspects of life, like exploration and all those things. So they got to know from somewhere else about me doing these things, and that too one day prior to my award ceremony. So next day I was going to receive the Karamveer Chakra award. So they got to know one day prior to that, and my father called me and he shouted on me, and like he was very angry, and he scolded me, and he told me that if you are not going to stop these things, so I'll be calling you back to the district, and you won't be studying in Delhi. So I didn't argue with him at that point of time, because obviously when someone is in angry mode, so it's better to stay silent rather than arguing with someone, right? So the next day when I received the award, I called him and I just told him two things. Say, Papa, I received this award. If you want me to keep this award, so you should be very open to accept all of these things which I am doing for my self-exploration, for learning. And if you want me to close all of these things, I'll be closing it right away. But with that closing thing, I'll be tearing this award and burning the award right away. So I told him this very frankly. And to be honest, when he heard all of those things, he read about me in Google, then he was very proud. And from that day till today, although they are not very supportive, because obviously when someone belongs to a middle class family, the first preference is obviously earning money and doing a healthy job. So job word is something just very much heard in the middle class family. Job, right? So the first preference is obviously to do job and get a healthy package of my parents. But I know that I don't want to do a job. I want to be someone which is known as social entrepreneur and initiate something and to do something for the country and for the betterment, with sustainability, with earning revenue, because sustainability can be originated in the entrepreneur's life through revenue. If you are not earning revenue, so obviously you won't be sustainable at long. So this is what I feel are some of the instances from my childhood, or maybe from my past. Obviously I am happy by what I am doing today, and I am on the journey. But if given me time machine and asked me to be one thing which you wanted to be, so I'll definitely be an IAS officer. Why so? Because see, IAS officer is a very big term, and people put their time, efforts, energy, money in this thing. But why so? Because my parents, right, they will be satisfied. Obviously I won't be satisfied 100% by being an IAS officer, because for me IAS officer is not what I wanted to be, but my parents will be 1,000 times satisfied. जो संघर्ष उन्होंने करा है, जो जिस भी परिस्थितियों से वो गुजरे हैं, only to make me what I am, so वो एक सुकून उनको मिल जाएगा, जो कहते हैं ना जिंदगी का सुकून, पूर्ण, उनको वो मिल जाएगा. So that is the reason, because obviously मैं सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप वगैरह कर रहा हूँ, ये मैं तब भी कर लूंगा, ये मुझे 100% आई एम डैम श्योर. टाइम नहीं मिलेगा, मैं टाइम निकाल लूंगा. लेकिन जो वो आईएएस वाली चीज है, मेरे को आईएएस बन के उनको वो एक स्माइल, वो सुकून देना है जो अभी तक मैं नहीं दे पाया हूँ. तो वो मैं करूंगा अगर मेरे को टाइम मशीन या ऐसा कुछ अपॉर्चुनिटी मिले तो. ओके, इफ टॉकिंग अबाउट फन एक्टिविटीज, सो बीच में when we talk with my classmates or my colleagues or anyone, so I try to crack lame jokes. Lame मतलब कि ऐसे कुछ भी. So because I love to spread smiles. वो ना स्माइल लोगों के चेहरे पे देखना मुझे बड़ा पसंद है, तो मैं लेम जोक्स मारता रहता हूँ. और आई एम अ कोरियोग्राफर बेसिकली, सो आई हैव क्रैक्ड DID सीजन 6 टॉप 100 में था मैं. लखनऊ, एंड देन लखनऊ से दिल्ली, देन उसके बाद आई हैव बीन इनटू वन ऑफ द रियलिटी शोज बाय द नेम ऑफ द टैलेंट प्लस, जो कि कलर्स पे आया था, राइट, वे बैक 2 years back. So my portray was storytelling, so I am a storyteller as well, right? So apart from that, what I love to do is I love to express through different means. So I am also an accidental author. I have released my book, which is by the name of Khwaish, which is available on almost all the platforms, offline and online, hard copy and Kindle. So I love to express it out, whether it is my anger, my sadness, or anything, my happy moments. I love to express. So yeah, and apart from that, uh, I love to explore in Google, right, different things and different. I love to read. Like now I can say that I love to read, because from past maybe 1 month I am reading some unique stuff, like how to enhance myself uniquely. So I am loving that actually. And I from the past 1 month I am also loving to watch movies. I watch वेरियस मूवीज, लाइक जितनी भी मूवी आती हैं बॉलीवुड की, और मे बी सम तेलुगु फिल्म लाइक RRR एंड ऑल ऑफ दोस, जो साउथ इंडस्ट्री की हैं. सो आई लव टू वॉच दोज फर्स्ट डे फर्स्ट शो टाइप का. So yeah, these are some of the things. So obviously the very first lesson which people learned from COVID is that life is uncertain. We try to keep things for the future, बाद में कर लेंगे, या maybe like we forget in our workspace, we forget to spend time with our loved and close ones. So COVID has taught us to enjoy life, to the fullest, so that if uncertainly or certainly something happens to you the next very moment, so you or the person who is associated with you, it could be your family, your friend, they are not regretting that, oh shit, काश ये कर लिया होता, काश वो कर लिया होता, काश उससे बात कर ली होती एंड टाइम पे, right? As we saw in Sushant Singh Rajput's case, many people were there, many celebrities were there who were quoting that कि काश उसने हमसे बात कर ली होती, काश हम उससे बात कर लिए होते. So those काश, राइट, वो काश के बारे में चल के हमको पता कि वो काश को हमको रिजॉल्व करना है, हटाना है, एंड जो हमको रहना है वो लिव इन द मोमेंट रहना है. अगर हमको आज मस्ती करने का मूड है तो हमें मस्ती करनी है, मस्ती कल के लिए नहीं बचानी है कि कल आप भी नहीं रहो और वो मस्ती भी ना रहे, राइट? सो एक चीज ये. दूसरी चीज, व्हाट गुड हैज हैपेंड इन दी कोविड. सो कोविड जब था तो एक चीज जो मैंने स्टार्टिंग में रियलाइज करी थी, इन्वायरमेंट बहुत जो है वो प्योरेस्ट फॉर्म में दिख रहा था हमको, क्योंकि ट्रांसपोर्टेशन बहुत ही नील था. इट वॉज 10% अक्रॉस द नेशन. ट्रांसपोर्टेशन जो चल रहा था, either रोडवेज और रेलवेज और कार्स और बसेस, एनीथिंग, इट वॉज जस्ट 10%. सो मेरे घर के पास आज से 15 साल पहले बर्ड्स आती थी. दे यूज टू sing beautifully. Yeah, they used to come in the early morning and then stay for almost 2 hours. And 10 सालों से वो नहीं आ रही थी. कोविड के आने के 5 दिन बाद से ही those birds were seen again. And वो 6 बजे आती थी मॉर्निंग में, एंड रात दिन में 2-3 बजे तक वो रहते थे वहां पे. वो आवाज आती थी, जो बर्ड्स की ब्यूटीफुल वॉइस जो थी वो सुनाई देती थी मुझे, राइट? तो वो एक बहुत अच्छी चीज थी. एंड सेकेंडली, आसमान बहुत ब्राइट था उन दिनों, लाइक आसमान में कुछ भी हरकतें नहीं हो रही थी जो पोल्यूशन की वजह से होती हैं. इट वॉज वेरी प्योर, इट वॉज वेरी ब्राइट एट दैट टाइम ऑफ कोविड. वो इन्वायरमेंट डिग्रेडेशन नहीं हो रहा था, ट्रीज कटिंग नहीं हो रहे थे, देयर वर नो वाटर पोल्यूशन भी कम था, राइट? एंड आपका ये लाइक थिंग्स वर द पोल्यूशन साइड ऑफ द गेम. पोल्यूशन डिग्रेड हुआ था बहुत. यूएन की और WHO की रिपोर्ट भी थी कि पोल्यूशन बहुत कम हुआ था एट स्पेशली इन द टाइम ऑफ फर्स्ट वेव ऑफ कोविड, जब बहुत ट्रांसपोर्टेशन लो था. तो आई गेस ये कुछ अच्छी चीज देखने को मिली थी फर्स्ट वेव में, राइट? एंड देन हमको ये भी देखने को मिला दैट पीपल स्टार्टेड हेल्पिंग ईच अदर, राइट। जैसे कोविड में अगर आप लाइक बहुत सारे वॉलंटियरिंग हमने देखने को मिला कि देयर वर वेरियस वॉलंटियर्स जो कि ऑन ग्राउंड आए, कोविड वॉरियर्स जिनको बाद में बोला गया, ठीक है, जो फील्ड पे वर्क करने लगे होल हार्टेडली, अपने घर भी नहीं जाते थे वो लोग, वहीं पे फील्ड में रहते थे, मंदिर में सोते थे या कहीं पे भी सो रहे थे, बट दे वर वर्किंग फॉर द कम्युनिटी। सो एक वो coordination, cooperation between individuals who were unknown to each other, they came together for the volunteering, for helping people, वो देखने को मिला हमको, सेवा भाव देखने को मिला हमको कोविड की वजह से। सो आई गेस ये चीजें हमको देखने को मिली, या ये चीजें हम लोगों को थोड़ा सा ये हुआ। दिस इज अ पोएम फ्रॉम माय बुक ख्वाहिश, एंड आई गेस it is there on YouTube as well, on Instagram as well, but for once again putting it in front of all of you, right? So it is known as क्या तुम सुन रही हो, क्या तुम सुन रही हो। So it says something like this: मैं हूँ यहाँ तुम्हारे इंतजार में, क्या तुम सुन रही हो, वो इंतजार जो मेरी आंखें रोज तुम्हारी उन नशीली आंखों का करती हैं, क्या तुम सुन रही हो, तुम्हारा चेहरा उस चांद की तरह है जिसका दीदार करने से ही दिल को सुकून मिलता है, क्या तुम सुन रही हो, वो बातें जो मेरी आंखें रोज तुम्हारी उन नशीली आंखों से करना चाहती हैं, क्या तुम सुन रही हो, वो जो नूर है ना जो तुम्हारे चेहरे पे आता है, मेरा चेहरा उसका दीवाना है, क्या तुम देख पा रही हो, मेरे कानों का और तुम्हारी आवाज का अफेयर चल रहा है, पता है तुम्हारी आवाज के लिए मर मिटने को तैयार है, क्या ये जुनून तुम देख पा रही हो, As you heard my story, and if you like my story, if you get inspired, or some or the other instances from my story were connecting to you, could make a place in your heart, so kindly please like, comment and share this with your family, friends and all your near and dear ones, and do inspire them as well through this story. And if you want to hear more such stories, so do check out this platform and do follow this platform, right, of Work Mob. And it's a great platform for where they tell the stories of different change makers, young change makers, or different inspirational people, those who are ready to inspire you all. So check out this video, the full story, and don't forget to like, comment, share and follow them for more updates and more upcoming great initiatives and stories. Namaste.
दोस्तों, आप सुन रहे थे आर्टिस्टिक योगी के नाम से मशहूर मुदित पाठक की सफलता की कहानी, इनकी अपनी जुबानी। ऐसी ही प्रेरक कहानियां रोजाना सुनने के लिए हमारा चैनल सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल आइकन जरूर दबाएं। और अगर आज की ये कहानी आपको पसंद आई है तो इसे लाइक, कमेंट और शेयर करना ना भूलें। अब आप भी बन जाइए भारत की प्रोफेशनल कम्युनिटी की आवाज़ और सुनाओ अपनी कहानी, बनाओ अपनी पहचान की इस मुहिम से जुड़कर अपने जीवन के अनुभवों, करियर यात्रा, अपने उत्पादों एवं सेवाओं के पीछे की वास्तविक कहानी से देशवासियों को प्रेरित करें और अपनी एक नई पहचान बनाएं। Tell your story, inspire and build your brand with the power of video. जय हिंद, जय भारत।